Two can play that game.
Hey, I'm Pete Steele.
And I'm Andrew Miller, and welcome to Two Can Play That Game, the podcast for people who have one friend. And we're back. It's been a while, Pete.
That's right.
I hope you didn't get any friends since we've been off.
In fact, I've been shot down numerous times, Andrew. I've been trying. Gosh knows I've been trying.
Man, it's a good feeling, right? It's a good feeling.
It feels great, honestly.
Pete, we are here.
Still got it, Andrew.
Surprise! We're back with a surprise bonus episode because there's something very exciting happening going on right now. We're getting close to the Halloween season, and if you haven't heard of the game Turf War, go back and listen to our episode.
Then you're not a big fan. You know what I mean?
Like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing here?
You gotta
listen to our episode on Turf War. And
you just came in now.
We also did another episode. We have two episodes about Turf War. We have the one that was an interview with Dan, the creator of Turf War. So
I'm just saying.
And now we're doing a third because there is an expansion, Pete. Is that right?
That's right, Andrew. And the Kickstarter for the Turf War expansion called Trick or Treat is starting up on the 27th of September, the spookiest time of September, Andrew. That's right. We're getting into the spooky part of September, Andrew, which is of course the 27th. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to make sure that all of our listeners out there not only knew that it's coming down the timeline, Andrew. Mm-hmm. Can't think of anything spooky for that. The spooky timeline. Down the witch's alley, cauldron, down the spooky alley, ready to pop out at them. And you know what? If you aren't watching this one, then it's gonna surprise you. But jump scare. You know what I mean? But we don't want you to be, necessarily spooked out by the jump scare of the Kickstarter. We want you to know about it. So that's why we're going to talk about it today, Andrew.
Now,
okay?
Pete, you had the privilege of being am I getting this right? A playtester of this?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
right.
One of the
Andrew.
perks of being one half of this podcast.
Of being a pretty high profile, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Board game personality, influencer.
That's right. Of some weeknights every now and then.
That's right.
And Andrew, because I don't have kids, so Andrew, just wanted to rub that.
Yeah, thanks that I have no time to even play a game anymore.
That's right. So Andrew, I wanted to talk about it. I got a chance to play test it. You were busy, I don't know, changing carrots and peas or something like that. I don't know what parents do. But...
Yes, you got it. You hit it on the nail on the head. All right. Well, anyway, let's get to it here. If you're not familiar with Turf War, go listen to our episode. But also, it's the game of neighbors. You're trying to sway your neighbors with the best looking lawn. And this one adds a Halloween and fall twist to it.
That's right, Andrew. Andrew, let's put it this way. Here's the thing. Turf War, it was kind of like sponsored by Lowe's almost, right? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You're setting up your yard. You want your yard to look the nicest to sway the neighbors in your neighborhood who want very specific things from your yard. We, of course, were smitten with that game. So when we had the chance to jump on this Halloween expansion, we said, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever we said. You know what I mean?
It's going to get old real fast.
Okay. Yeah, Andrew, here's what's different, baby. If that's regular Lowe's, this is, of course, Lowe's as soon as it hits September 27th. And that means everything is out. Andrew, you walk by the big part of the section of the store of Lowe's. Yes. And by the way, this one's sponsored by Lowe's. I wish. Hit us up.
I wish.
Okay, now that's about to get old, Andrew. No, but it's like, when all the spooky skeletons are out and all the things that go, ooh, they have like D batteries in them or whatever, C batteries, and you walk by them and they're triggered. Anyway, that's what this game is like. It's like suddenly it's Halloween time in Lowe's, okay? Because you can get your normal stuff, Andrew. Mm-hmm. You can get your rakes, you can get your petunias or whatever. You can get your wheelbarrows, you can get your grills and stuff. That's still there, Andrew. I'm not saying this expansion you still play Turf War. You're still doing it the same way. You're using almost all the same cards, kind of up to you whether you thin that out a little bit, and then you mix in the Trick or Treat expansion, Andrew.
Wow.
And it does all sorts of things. Now, here's the best part about this one, Andrew. I actually think this is a great expansion, Andrew. It's extremely worthwhile having, because Dan, the guy who made the dang game, is so smart, Andrew. This is something we talked about kind of endlessly when we actually did the full episode on the base game, which is that, okay, the mechanics of the game are clever, sure. But really, somebody put their heart and soul into making this game and thinking it through and having all the pieces fit. And there's just like a lot of love in it. That is true of this expansion, Andrew, because Dan could have just said, all right, yeah, you got a gravestone now. You can get one of those too. Or, you know what I mean? He could have said, okay, you got a spooky ghost, whatever, and then stamped it with like a $20 price tag or whatever and kicked it out the door. But he didn't do that. Okay?
The thing that I remember loving about the original game is that all of the cards, the whatever is on the card, kind of matches with the action. It's like, oh yeah, you would use that to do that, So I gotta assume that that's still the case with the.
That's still the case, Andrew.
Amazing.
That's what I'm telling to you. Now, he didn't just come up with a new skin for this and say, okay, it's spooky now, whatever.
Right.
He actually thought about every single one of these cards that he put out, Andrew, and they all make sense and they all do different stuff and they fit in with the regular game. Oh, boy, I could go on and on, Andrew. But listen,
well,
here's what he did, Andrew. He changed everything about it. Well, not everything. Again, you're still buying stuff, wheelbarrows and stuff like that. You still want to make a yard, depending on which neighbor pops up. You want to obviously put things in the yard. Not everybody wants to see spooky ghosts and stuff like that. That's fine. You can still get the grill for the guy that likes the grill. You know what I mean?
Maximilian or whatever his name is.
Maximilian or whatever. But Andrew, first thing that he did, and this was a game changer. He didn't just come up with new cards. He came up with a whole new system of resources, Andrew. I'm talking about candy, Andrew. You see these cards here? Are you seeing this? So just like you could keep track of the money when you went out, you worked, and then you could use, it had such a clever piggy bank system for keeping track of the money. There's candy in the game now too. Money's still there. You still got to get money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you also got to make sure you get candy.
So it's a second resource.
And your second resource. Look, just like with the money, you're keeping track of how much candy you have. Now you're thinking to yourself, why the heck would I need candy? Nobody in the base game wanted candy. Yeah, I know. It's an expansion. Okay, now who wants candy? The trick-or-treaters want candy, Andrew. And you're thinking to yourself, well, you're thinking to yourself, who are these wacky characters? Well, Andrew, here's the thing. It mixed into the store cards that you're going to put out in the market are these trick-or-treaters, which means you might randomly, when you're refilling the store, suddenly a trick-or-treater appears at your door because you flip it up. Yeah. When you flip it up, that's both an event and a neighbor, because these kids live in your neighborhood, Andrew. So all of a sudden you got to address the fact that they're at your door. Ding dong.
Oh,
do you have candy? That's the thing. Because you don't ever have to get candy if you don't want. Good luck. And I'll tell you why. Because it costs $3 to get a piece of candy. So you're thinking to yourself, wow, I'm gonna be those people with the lights off. Yeah, good luck. Because here's the thing, trick or treat, Andrew. If you don't have enough candy to give these kids when they pop up one by one, they do a trick. So one part of the card is if you don't have enough candy to do, they're gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? So you got the mummy kid, the kid dressed as a mummy. You have to play a pest into your yard. You know what I mean? Just like Brendan Fraser's mummy.
Yeah.
Right? He spit pests or whatever. Then you got the kid dressed as a witch here, turns your grass into dirt. One of your grass into dirt if you don't have candy, just like a witch would do.
Classic.
See, Dan's at it again. Know what I mean? Pirate steals money from you. Obviously, if you get just classic pirate stuff, Andrew.
Now,
so Dan's back at it again.
Quick question. When one of these trick-or-treaters pops up, do you have to say the classic line of, well, what are you supposed to be? Do you have to say that?
Yeah, you got to say that.
Okay, good. Yeah,
that is, I did clarify with Dan. That's
good.
So, I mean, talk about a whole different system in this game. While you're playing the base game, now you got to also worry about these trick-or-treaters, Andrew. So you got to make sure you have candy, okay? Now, to go along with the new kids in your yard. Oh, by the way, Andrew, if you do have the candy, you sway them. This counts as a swayed neighbor. Remember?
Wow.
That's what I'm saying to you. So they're all worth points. You can see if you sway them. So you're going to want candy. You don't want to just get candy to make sure you don't get a penalty. That also turns into something really nice. So you're going to want that candy, is what I'm saying to you, Andrew. But you got to balance you can't spend all your money on candy. You know what I mean?
Right.
What if the kids don't come to your door? That's just like real life. Yet again, Dan has mirrored perfectly real life.
Right, because then you're going to end up like me, and you're going to have a giant bowl of candy.
Have a giant bowl of
that
candy.
then you have to eat, and you're sick.
That's what I'm saying.
All of
now,
November.
Andrew, there are new spooky neighbors that come up too. These are just a couple of them, Andrew. I wanted to highlight a couple here because this is Dan, a genius again. Here you got Frank, which I would assume is short for Frankenstein. You want to put two neighbors from your sway onto the bottoms of their deck, Andrew. That's what Frank wants. You want to put two neighbors from your sway to the bottom of the deck. Why? Because he's scaring them away. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Right? That's classic Frankenstein stuff. However, then you got the witch, Winifred. Andrew, Winifred wants you to put two or more events in your sway. Now, the kids, the trick-or-treaters, are events that go into your sway. So what Dan's basically saying here is the witch wants kids. Okay? Now, that's classic witch stuff, Andrew. That's some Hansel and Gretel witch stuff right there. Again, Dan is at it again.
These new neighbors, this is like a real Munster situation going on.
It's a real Munster situation. Let's just say Universal Studios is very interested in Dan's. No. I'm
telling you, this could be. All right, we already talked about this. This could be a movie. Yeah.
This could be a. Oh, I thought you were saying we could blackmail Dan. By reaching out to Universal Studios.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. This is very legit and can't be sued. Okay, Andrew, we're talking about some new things to go in your yard, Andrew. Look, these two things have to do with candy as well, because the pumpkin, Andrew. Here's the thing about the pumpkin. Is that if you ever destroy it, if you trash it, you get candy. What does that mean, Andrew? That means you scoop out you throw your pumpkin away, you make pumpkin seeds, Andrew.
Yeah,
that's you. You know that. You're a pumpkin seed guy.
Absolutely.
So that's just like candy. You know what I mean? That you give kids. They show up to your door, you go, well, I don't really have candy, but I do have all these pumpkin seeds.
There you go.
Same thing with this apple tree, Andrew. This apple tree, every morning it gives you some candy. Okay. And that's because if you're the person in the neighborhood who gives kids, apples, which
candy apples. There was always somebody in my neighborhood, an old woman who used to give candy apples, and I never knew.
I'll tell you what.
I wasn't sure about that.
Andrew, you got a foreboding gate. Here's another thing you can add to your yard. The foreboding gate, Andrew. This is the kind of thing where if you reveal one of the events, you can ignore it, put them on the bottom of its deck, which is, again, the trick-or-treaters are the most frequent event that pops up, which means if you got a foreboding gate, you don't even have to worry about the trick-or-treaters. They just go right in the bottom of the gate because you got the kind of gate that scares them away. I mean, genius stuff here we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
The sinister clown. That's a pest, of course, Andrew. And they put all the events from your sway onto the bottom of your deck. That means you have all these trick-or-treaters. You gave them all candy. They're all loving it. They're hanging around your house for some reason. We're not going to get into that. Andrew, the bottom line is the sinister clown comes out. He scares them all. You lose them all. Of course, they don't want to see. They don't want to see the.
You know what? The trick-or-treaters are not hanging out at your house. They're swayed, so they go around talking. They're going around talking you up around town. Yeah, no. This is not.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, there you
go. All right, and then of course you got the monkey paw, Andrew.
I was very interested in this one.
Yeah, this one's crazy, Andrew, because this is good and bad, just like a typical monkey paw. Here's what happens when you play this: until you can't, or you reveal an event, which could be a trick-or-treat or some other event. You play the top card of the store deck onto your yard. You just keep going until you can't, or an event pops up. Good, bad, pest, good thing. You just keep going. That's the monkey paw for you, Andrew. And that's just a taste of what's going on. These are just a few of the cards that are in this thing. I just wanted to give you kind of a flavor of what's popping up in this game. Dan, chef's kiss, but spooky zombie chef's kiss. You know what I mean?
And I really want to support this thing because it sounds amazing, Pete.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, you can if you look up the Kickstarter.
It's all on Kickstarter.
Listen, I can't. Andrew, what am I going to reach through the screen currently and type the Kickstarter URL onto the viewer's keyboard? I can't do that. I haven't even begun to study how to do that.
Turf War. Halloween
trick or treat expansion for Turf War.
For
check it out.
Wow. Yeah,
you're gonna want it. And Dan has done it again. Here's the blurb, Andrew.
Okay.
Dan and Gadabout Games have simply done it again. A thoroughly well thought out expansion for an already fun game.
Did you just make that up right now?
I just made that up.
I was
Andrew.
like,
boy, that is why it is a little bit thin.
Well, that was pretty good. I was like, boy,
Good.
this is gonna fall apart at some point. But you came to the finish line, Pete. You did it. That was nice.
Speaking about falling apart, Andrew, now's about the time in the video where I literally have gone through everything I want to say. So I want to kick it back to you and see what your reaction is.
My reaction to this is that it looks really cool. I think that it's first of all the artwork and everything continuing to be great. I'm loving the idea of the candy and that the trick-or-treaters randomly pop up. And like you said, everything that you described there, it seems like everything goes along perfectly. The theme of the card goes along perfectly with the action, just like the base game. It sounds great. My mind is already going to what other expansions you could go for. Maybe there's maybe there's
You're just not satisfied over there.
No. I want
No, I see what you mean. You've already set aside the money for this one, and you're already getting your money ready for the next one.
There could be like a winter one with like snow. You got to shovel snow.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It could be all kinds.
And Andrew, I think you agree with me. No matter what expansion comes next, and we are thinking about them already. If Dan's in charge of it, I think it's gonna be real good. Yes, just like with this one.
And we'll definitely be sure to talk about it. Pete, this got me in the mood for. I had an idea for a spooky campfire story, a board game.
Wow.
Spooky campfire story.
Spooky campfire story. Okay.
I want to get you in the mood for spooky season. September 27th starts spooky season.
Starts spooky season officially. Yeah. Okay. Let's say it's September 28th. And I'm already, getting in the mood, basically.
All right, it is
Andrew,
September.
As you can see, I've already turned down some of my lights, and that was on purpose.
I noticed that you knocked.
Did you notice? Hey, hold on.
Yep.
Okay. I'm also. Well, I was going to say hold on because I didn't knock them over. That was on purpose. My lamp didn't fall, Andrew.
Okay.
I have my life together, so I'm not the kind of guy where my lamp would fall off of my bed that I have it resting on to light this video, Andrew. Okay, but second of all, if you're trying to get spooky and I've already turned the lights down, I'll go ahead and get my spooky light going here, Andrew.
Oh, you have a spooky? I should have brought a flashlight. I could have held a flashlight on.
Don't worry, I've got my spooky light here, Andrew. And
those of you who are listening to
very
this,
bright.
Yeah, that's way too bright. That's very spooky. That's pretty spooky.
Bright.
Those of you who are listening to this, you're missing out on some of the video component. I don't know. Maybe this video is up on our YouTube. We've never really done a video before, but maybe this is up on our social media. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Check it out. Okay, so this is very distracting.
This is I do not recommend. I would love for Dan to get together with whoever makes Minions. I can't remember whether that's DreamWorks or whatever, and make a Minions expansion, but it's got to be legal because I don't.
Yeah.
Hard. No,
you don't want a cheesy ripoff of Minions. You want to actually get the IP, but that's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, spooky story. Get you in the mood for spooky season. All right, imagine yourself, Pete. It is the night of September 27th.
Okay, already spooky. Yeah.
It's a dark and stormy game night, and you get out of your car, you rush up to the front door of my house, ready to knock on the front door. You knock on the front door, and of course you notice.
You have kids, so I would probably just text you.
You text me.
I don't want to wake any kids up.
You text me, and then I say, "Come use my door knocker because it's spookier." And so then you do that. You go knock.
Okay, if I have permission, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Huh, that's funny. I don't remember him having a door knocker before, but it's spooky season now." And and also, by the way, Dr. Fraser Crane is just sitting on my porch, just waiting to be let in, as he always is. So. But that's spooky. Anyway, I come to the door
down my spine,
and I say, "Welcome to game night. Come on in." You do.
Mm-hmm.
Your feet walking across the creaky floorboards as we walk to the game table.
Gotta get those fixed. Yeah.
Yes. And you say, well, what are we playing tonight? Maybe some Turf War, maybe some, Catan card game.
Right.
Something like that.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Two-player classic, maybe a little, I don't know. I've only reviewed 60 two-player board games, and I can't even think of one right now off the top of my head.
You got two. You got the two.
Yeah, pretty good. Anyway, and I say, no, I had something else in mind. Oh, okay. You have an uneasy feeling, and you walk into the room, and there are two other people sitting at the table.
No.
They're your acquaintances. They're your acquaintances.
Okay.
And he said, "Oh, I didn't realize that we were going to have acquaintances here." And then I say, "Acquaintances? What do you mean, Pete?" And they say, "Pete, we're your friends." And then you look down at the table, and there's a copy of Candyland sitting there ready to be played by 4 people. And that is the spookiest story I could think of, Pete.
Oh my gosh. Well, Andrew, don't do that anymore.
Sorry. I'm just trying to get you in the mood for spooky season.
All right. Well, I guess next time, though, tone it down a little bit is what I would say.
All right. Next time. I don't even know when next time is going to be, because as we said in the beginning, we are on hiatus. We've been on hiatus, but we just had to pop into the stream here to share about this game, the Trick or Treat expansion to Turf War. So once again,
our listeners are special folks, and when something as special as the Turf War Trick or Treat expansion pops up, we're not going to leave you hanging. Okay.
All joking aside, I'll say it is a good game. This is a good expansion, and it's one of our highly rated games, the most highly rated games on our leaderboard. So really check it out.
And this just takes it to a whole new level. So you're going to want to get involved in that, my friends. And so until the next time something as special as this comes up, Andrew, which who knows, could be the next time we watch Muppet Christmas Carol. It could be, you know what I mean? Man,
could be never. I don't know.
Imagine if they created a Muppet Christmas Carol board game. Now we're talking. Ooh, Muppet board game. We should look into it. I'm sure they exist.
Hey, there's got to be something.
They're probably bad.
Not 2-player. Yeah.
We'll be the judge of that. All right. Well, that's it. What's a spooky thing to say when somebody leaves?
You say, come again.
Yeah. God, yeah. Just that classic Halloween phrase, come again.
Somebody is yelling, of course, you say, boo, good boo, goodbye. I don't know.
What if it's what's a bad candy?
I just keep thinking of the Thriller video where we should both turn around and have cat eyes and go ha 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 ha.
Okay. Somebody go ahead and put that in post.
All right,
that was a
edit
good
in
laugh,
the cat eyes.
The cat eyes.
And Vincent Price doing a laugh. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?